Imagine a room full of lights, cameras rolling, and thousands of eyes waiting for one small, unexpected moment. In a matter of seconds, the once boisterous atmosphere turned to silence as Jungkook turned to V with a gaze unlike any other. It wasn't just the gaze of a friend, nor was it just the gaze of a bandmate. There was something deeper, more sincere, and more moving. And when those words were spoken, a promise that sounded simple yet so meaningful, the entire world seemed to stop breathing. The moment happened without any dramatic script, without any contrived background music. Just a casual conversation that suddenly turned into a heartwarming confession. Jungkook, with his signature shy smile, declared that he would never leave Taehyung. It might seem like a small talk to some, but to those who have followed the pair since their debut, it felt like a summary of years of togetherness. Taehyung, known for his expressiveness and difficulty hiding his feelings, immediately showed a reaction that left everyone in awe. There was a mix of joy, emotion, and, most strikingly, jealousy that he couldn't hide. His gaze turned sharp when Jungkook briefly joked with another member, as if to ensure that the promise was truly exclusive to him. Their relationship had always been in the spotlight. Since their trainee days under Big Hit Entertainment, they had grown together under the same pressures and shared the same dreams. Jungkook, still very young at the time, found Taehyung to be a unique, colorful friend, unlike anyone he had ever met. Meanwhile, Taehyung saw Jungkook as a younger brother he wanted to protect. But time changes everything. From a mere hyungdangsung relationship, their closeness developed into a much stronger bond. They understood each other simply through glances. They could laugh for no apparent reason. Even in silence, there was a communication only the two of them understood. Jungkook's promise that night felt like a confirmation of their long journey. It wasn't a grand promise uttered with drama, but rather a simple sentence that came from the heart. It was precisely because of its spontaneity that its meaning felt even more real. Taehyung's reaction became a topic of conversation. When Jungkook jokingly mentioned another member's name, Taehyung immediately interrupted with a mock annoyance. His lips pursed, his eyebrows raised, and his faint smile turned into a glare of protest. Armies witnessing the moment immediately went wild on social media. Many said Taehyung's jealousy was a sweet gesture of concern. He wasn't truly angry. He just wanted to reassure Jungkook that he remained special. And Jungkook, who understood his best friend's character well, simply laughed and patted him on the shoulder, as if silently saying, "Don't worry, I'm here." Their closeness wasn't without its trials. Busy schedules, industry pressures, and the public spotlight often posed significant challenges. But it was precisely in these difficult situations that they seemed to grow stronger. When one felt tired, the other was there to support them, sometimes with a quick hug, sometimes just a small joke. This promise to never leave wasn't just a romantic phrase to pamper fans. It was a reflection of years of a journey filled with tears and laughter. They started as teenagers with big dreams, and now stand as global icons known as BTS. Behind the glitz and glamour of the stage, there's a time-tested friendship. Jungkook has repeatedly stated that Taehyung is one of the people who understands him best. And Taehyung, on numerous occasions, has admitted that he feels comfortable being himself when he's with Jungkook. That moment of promise seemed to symbolize that no matter what happens in the future, the foundation of their friendship remains strong. Even as they each began exploring solo careers and showcasing different musical styles, their chemistry never faded. Taehyung's slight jealousy revealed a rarely seen humanity. Amidst the image of a perfect idol, he showed that he, too, can fear loss. And that fear isn't a sign of weakness, but rather proof of the preciousness of the relationship. Jungkook didn't let the moment pass him by. In a soft yet firm tone, he reaffirmed his promise. His gaze was serious, a departure from his previous joking demeanor. And that's where many fans were touched, because they saw sincerity, not mere fan service. Over time, video clips of that moment circulated widely. Analysis after analysis emerged, debating details of expressions, vocal intonation, and even body language. But beyond all theories, one thing was undeniable: the warmth that was palpable. For ARMY, moments like this were a reminder of why they fell in love with the group's dynamic. Not just for the music or achievements, but for the sincere and storied relationships between the members. Taehyung finally laughed, breaking the slight tension that had built up. He rested his head briefly on Jungkook's shoulder, a simple gesture that was immediately met with cheers from the audience. Jungkook simply smiled broadly, as if enjoying his friend's reaction. Underneath, the promise may have seemed simple, but in a world of constant change, a commitment to stay together is something rare and precious. And when uttered in the global spotlight, its meaning deepened. Would that promise stand the test of time? Absolutely. Every relationship goes through ups and downs. But seeing how they've cared for each other to this day, many believe their bond will be unwavering. But what made the moment even more memorable was how the two of them returned to their normal behavior afterward, as if the big promise was just a natural part of their daily conversation. There was no overdramatization. No forced glances. Jungkook joked again, Taehyung laughed again, but the aura between them felt different, warmer, deeper, as if a new understanding had just been sealed between them. Many fans have said that a relationship like that can't be faked. Body language never lies. The way Jungkook reflexively sought Taehyung out in a crowd, or the way Taehyung unconsciously leaned closer when Jungkook spoke, were small details that reinforced the meaning of the promise. Those simple things felt more powerful than 1,000 words. In the ever-changing entertainment world, goodbyes are often part of the journey. Groups come and go, trends change, popularity waxes and wanes. But seeing how they grew together from youth to adulthood, the promise not to leave felt like a small act of resistance to that uncertainty. A silent commitment to continue being there for each other, even as life's paths diverge. Taehyung himself seemed calmer after hearing that affirmation. His jealous expression slowly transformed into a contented smile that he struggled to hide. It was as if he'd found the answer to a question he'd never asked. And Jungkook, in his own simple way, managed to calm him down without much explanation. Their relationship had always been like that, not many words, but full of meaning. And perhaps that's where the true beauty lies. Not in how loudly the promise was spoken, but in how it was kept in everyday actions. In the laughter shared, in the support when tired, and in the courage to stay when the world seemed to change. Jungkook's promise that night may have seemed short, but its echo felt long, resonating in Taehyung's heart, and indeed, in the hearts of the millions who witnessed it. Ultimately, that moment wasn't just about sensation or excitement. It was a small snapshot of a friendship that grew from adolescence, forged by big dreams, and strengthened by a long journey together. And as the stage lights slowly dimmed, one thing remained in the hearts of fans. The belief that beneath all the hustle and bustle of the entertainment world, there were two souls who promised to stand side by side, no matter what.